A very good day to everybody and welcome to Sidlaghatta, Chikbalapura, as we come here to show you this place of property and to explain all about it. We have Mr. Gerard Caltin himself who will give us the total brief details of this place. Hello Mr. Gerard, how are you?
Good morning. Hi.
And welcome to this wonderful day's explanation you're going to give us. We would like to know what made you to come into this type of a field.
Okay. Good morning to you. Good morning to all my viewers. Happy morning. Like how Felix asked, the reason that I stepped into farmlands is that I've been into real estate since 2002. So I started off with small parcels, small pieces of land that I used to deal with. But then later on, as I gained experience, I saw there's a lot of opportunities in a farmland. That's one. Two, when we travel to a lot of places where I love driving, so when I drive down with family for a lot of vacations, we see all the lush green lands across the crops, the lush green environment. And that's the other thing which actually initiated me to get into this kind of domain. And therefore I decided that I will move stages, and I finished my small properties, now moved on to the big ones. And this is something in Sidlaghatta, like you clearly mentioned. Sidlaghatta is part of Chikbalapura, and here the reason we chose this particular location is because there are no other farmlands across in this particular belt. So we decided that we'll take up a farmland here and decide how we'll go about this. And that's how we landed up in Sidlaghatta and the farmland over here.
Amazing, amazing. And as you can see, the wonderful plantation here is so amazing that I think it's not found in too many places where it's maintained so well.
Correct.
Is it the soil that is giving the best boon to this place?
Yes, there are two reasons to this. One, the soil is very rightly said, highlighted, is red soil, very fertile soil. So anything that we plant will grow. And ultimately, soil is everything.
Yes,
From soil you get your gold, your silver, all the minerals, your water. We get our food from the soil. So it's a very fertile soil, point one. Point two, this particular farm is well maintained. The reason being, we are only looking at people investing and getting their money. The ROI should start off immediately from the time they invest.
Yes.
So that's what we're looking at, and that's the only reason that we chose a farmland which is already yielding good fruits, or your returns are high. So therefore, looking at those aspects, we chose this. Like you can see, we have our people who are already on the field maintaining it, spraying pesticides for our upcoming fruits, which we'll have a harvest in the month of May. So it's a well maintained property, and that's the reason we chose this location. And this,
as you said, we have the most amazing soil here. If you see that the soil is so red and wonderful, I would want to know, how would you maintain the soil in future?
Okay. We have a structured process in terms of how our approach is going to be in terms of maintaining the fertility of the soil. I go back to point systems every time I tell point 1, point 2, is because that's a structured way that we approach.
Okay.
Firstly, it's going to be that we have a stipulated crop which will grow.
Okay.
And every time we rotate, there's a rotation of crop which happens.
Okay.
So once the harvest is done, there's a rotation happens to ensure that the fertility of the soil is retained.
Maintained.
Maintained and retained.
Yeah.
That's one. Point two, we have our experts in agro professors who are consultants with us. They are part of our the entire team. and they come and have a regular check, and they suggest what is that we need to do to increase the fertility of the soil.
Okay.
So this is how we maintain the fertility of the soil.
And that helps you get more yield.
Yes, that helps us more get more yield. 1.2, it helps our investors because it gives a better returns for them. And one crop might give you less returns, but we'll also look at, as per the expert team giving us suggestions, how we'll increase the ROI and harvest any other crops. So these are things that we work out.
And also even the quality of the outcome of the fruits and vegetables is even more better.
Yes,
even more healthier.
Right, right. And the soil, as you pointed out, is red in color. Especially anything which grows under the soil, for example, potato, ginger, carrot, anything, is going to be very nutritious. Nutritious, and it's very tasty compared to any of the other grown vegetables, because of the redness that it brings, and the color itself is good. So therefore, it is good at the end of the day that whatever is cultivated here. That's about the soil.
So whatever you get, you're getting the best of the soil.
Right.
So I think you can call it soil to sustainability.
Right.
Yeah.
Well said.
Well
said.
Okay, Mr. Gerard, regarding the size of the property, and what is your future plan to develop this whole place to give the best of whatever people want to invest here?
Okay, very nice question. If you look at it, this is a total of 250 acres of land.
250
acres of land.
Okay.
We are acquiring it in pieces.
Okay.
Piece and parcels of 50 acres each, because this entire 250 acres is being planned, chalked out to be developed in phase wise.
Okay.
So there are 5 phases.
5 phases.
5 phases, and the first phase is what we are actually standing on. If you see, there are a lot of mango trees as of now, but we're going to go ahead as per the suggestion of the experts, the agro experts, that we will have potatoes, gingers, and a lot of other underground crops which will be planted. That's one. Secondly, that's with regards to agriculture. So of course we are also looking at organic growth. So that's with regards to agriculture. But apart from this, there are other activities, like for example, in 50 acres of land, phase 1, we have almost 130 plots, and each plot is sized at 6,000 square feet. It's a standard size of 6,000 square feet is what we've decided. It's the American way of doing a villa plot. So I would rather call it a villa plot than a farmland, because in future we are sizing it 6,000 so that in future you can come up with a villa of your own. Okay. So that's one. But in the 6,000 square feet, what we do is, so 6,000 square feet of plots, so that's around about 120 plots is what we foresee, with broad roads of 30 feet roads, and every plot will have its own connectivity to the road. That's one. Then going on to the next part, we also have your farmhouse, which is around about 1 acre of farmhouse. Your clubhouse, sorry.
Clubhouse.
Correct.
Okay.
Clubhouse.
Interesting.
Yeah, 1 acre of clubhouse, and 1 acre of clubhouse includes your conference, your ballroom, your conference hall, your boardrooms. You have your
indoor games.
Indoor games, right?
Yes.
Thanks for prompting. Indoor games, and we also have your big swimming pool which comes up.
Swimming pool, yes.
Swimming pool comes up. We are actually looking at organic swimming pool. That's one choice. But I do not know if everybody would like to get into an organic swimming pool. Okay. But otherwise, we have options. Both will be there. Okay. That's with regards to 1 acre. And I call that clubhouse. I call the clubhouse the tree of life, because that's where people come together to mingle and to meet. Yes. So I call it a tree of life. Because it's a big farm. The name is Garden of Eden. Because self-sustained place. That was what the Holy Book says. So basis that is what we've looked at. So that's tree of life. We have a tree of knowledge where we'll have open library. People can come and sit, read whatever they
the total piece of this place.
Correct, absolutely. So that's a tree of knowledge.
Knowledge.
We have a tree of health, where you have your other activities to keep your health
In prime
time,
condition.
yeah, in prime condition. So that's the other thing. And tree of health. Then the next is in terms of there's a lake. We have a 4-acre lake.
Lake.
Yes.
What a
4-acre
wonderful
lake.
thing to have in a farmhouse.
Yeah,
A
because
lake.
because
Wow.
if you look at the water table is around about 600 feet.
Okay.
I want to increase the water table, so therefore this is one way of rainwater harvest.
You can save the rainwater.
Rainwater harvest. So we want to actually increase the water level table below our because we're going to use that, and that's the reason it's self-sustainable. So we're looking at those aspects. So the lake is almost close by, near a forest zone, because adjacent to this property is a forest area.
Okay.
So we have a lot of deers and peacocks coming into this particular property. So wildlife is something that we want to encourage
Encourage
concern,
people to
yeah,
see and watch life.
watch. And I think the kids will love
We'll
to
love
see
that.
that.
Yes.
And this lake is going to be a center for both these, the human species and the animal species to meet, look at one another. So that's a different kind of experience. So we want to do that in this place. So that's with regards to a lake. We will have a lot of fisheries happening.
Correct.
We have a boating activity.
Okay.
So these are things, but all activities over here are related to farming.
Okay.
You have people come, we give an opportunity for you to plow, to sow, to reap, to harvest, to water. That's with regards to the amenities which are available.
Okay.
But otherwise, if you look at one is agriculture, the amenities I've spoken about. We also have livestock. You have your sheep,
Okay.
you have your cows, buffaloes, donkeys,
Wonderful.
your birds such as ducks, quills, chicken, yeah.
Okay.
So those are also going to be a part of this entire farm. So our restaurants will use the products which are there cultivated in this farm. So you're looking at self-sustainability. I repeat that word again and again, because that is what
Main purpose of doing.
yeah, Garden of Eden is focused on being self-sustainable.
Okay. And regarding to this big place to cater to water, what have you taken precautions to do to supply water for these wonderful plants?
Okay. Right now, we've actually got points for underwater bowels.
Okay.
So we have around about 4 to 5 points, which is good yielding water of around about 3 inches and above. Like I said, the water table is high, 600 feet, but then we want to increase it more. So therefore, all this water conversion, conservation aspect is what we look at. But then we'll bore. Every 10 acres, we look at having one bore. That's on a maximum, but we want to minimize that and get it less. The point that we go on in reducing our bores is when our water table increases.
Okay.
So we want to be very. I mean, ultimately we need to respect the ground. So we want to do that.
Okay. Okay, Gerard, with this fun-filled property, what are the more activities you're planning to have for people to come back?
Okay, good question. The activities are going to be multiple, from boating. You have your fishing, boating, your farm activities. Every season has its own activities. So if it is the first quarter, your kite flying, like Sankranti.
You have kite flying also. Super.
From there on, we kickstart our year. So it goes on till the month of December, your Christmas activity, your New Year activity. But we are mostly looking at paragliding. We just applied for the license. So paragliding is something which will come in.
Super.
Yeah, so yesterday I had the vendor who came in and checked the feasibility. So paragliding is one, boating, kayaking. So these are multiple activities, physical activities, because we want to get the person out of his chair.
Yes,
because
some energy level.
today's world is people sit in their chairs
Yeah.
for 8 to 10 hours. But these are things that we want to move them out from there, get them active physically, so they're healthy at the end of the day. So that's one. Secondly, we also have a lot of talk shows, your art gallery, so people come and display. So we invite people to come and do that. And we also have a forest, 1 acre of forest completely for wildlife photography, because we have the deers, peacocks, and other small harmless animals which come there. So we want to have a forest kind of setup for people to come and look at how they can do the
So people
wildlife.
who are really interested in photography can freak out in that arena.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
So that's one
Amazing.
place. That's one place. We also have other small enclosures for your football, your hockey, your tennis.
Okay.
So those are small enclosures. That's just to go and get yourself physically active. But then that's in one corner of it. Of course, we are looking at kids coming over and enjoying a day activity with the animals,
Okay.
feeding them, washing them,
Okay.
playing with them, petting them. So these are things for
Really,
the children
really?
of pets.
Okay.
So these are things the children will love doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And so these are the kind of activities. We also have an art gallery, so people can come and display what the craft art is. So we encourage people to come be part of this. And since I've been part of the HR for almost 20 years, I've been a HR head for a couple of companies. I look at keeping the people engaged. The more you keep them engaged, the more you're
Bringing out of them.
yeah,
Yes.
you're
Yes.
bringing out good characters of quality
Qualities.
things out of them,
Yes.
and they will come back to our property every now and then. So we're looking at frequent visits. As of now, we're looking at repeats of 1 year, 1 month. Sorry, but then as we grow gradually, we will look at people coming here every week, regenerating themselves, going back into the busy world, and coming back over here during the weekend with family. So you have your quality time with your family that you spend. The love increases with your family. So these are things that we like. It's a complete cycle.
Yeah.
A self-sustainable cycle is what we call. So we want to go that circle, full circle, and that's what we intend to do.
Okay, Gerard, regarding the way forward plans, what have you kept in mind for people?
Okay, way forward. Firstly, I want to finish this 50 acres, and I've set a target, a timeline of 8 months to complete this project.
8 months.
8 months
Okay.
to finish the first phase.
Okay.
And subsequently, it will take 6 months because I'm just replicating what it is.
Okay.
So it's almost the same vendors who will do all my other phases. So by then they'll be comfortable with the environment, with the labors and all that. So I'm reducing my completion time overall 6 months in my next phases.
Okay.
So hopefully looking at completing all my 5 phases in a matter of around about 2.5 years. So
Okay.
it should be done. Okay. So that's point 1. Point 2, the entire 250 acres has 20 acres of lake itself.
Okay.
So every phase has 4 acres of lake. So 20 acres of lake is what we're looking at. Apart from this, we also have a 9-acre golf course.
Golf course.
Yes, golf course.
Wonderful.
9-hole golf course
Okay.
is what we
Intend
have.
to have,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's part of our plan. We have 10 acres of elderly living.
Okay.
That's again standard size of 6,000. But
Okay.
there we will build the villa and give them. That will include your emergency room. It will include a hospital in that 10 acres.
Okay.
All your first aid, everything will happen there.
Superb. Yeah.
The reason we've included that is because 1, the environment, 2, proximity to the airport, so, and you can reach the airport easily rather than coming from town. So that's the ideal reason that we chose this place for the elderly living. So these are things that we're looking at, and of course, right now our plan is 250 acres. But subsequently, if there is our neighbors who are willing to extend, be part of our ideology,
Okay.
I think we will extend much
them.
more.
Okay.
So that's in the pipeline. So
Okay,
this is a way forward is what I look at.
Okay. Wonderful. So much about this farmland. Now we would come to why is to invest in a farmland.
Okay, the why question is very important. The reason being, if Felix, you invest in a farmland, there are multiple things revolving around this investment of yours. For example, let me do a small comparison. If you invest in a share or any stocks, it's visible, but it's not on. You can't feel it. There's no feel.
There's a lot of difference between these two.
Here you invest on a land. You have your documentation on yours, and you own the land. You can come and do what you want in it. Okay, so that's our first part. It's reality. Okay, that's one. Two, your returns on a farmland is steady and growing. Okay, because you and your children will realize how the food comes, where the food comes from, what are the difficulties that every farmer goes through in producing that product of yours that you consume. So looking at all those aspects, the value of food is something that they will realize.
Yes, and particularly here, the value of food takes it to another level.
Correct.
Because of the soil and the beauty of this land.
Beauty. And the other thing is the involvement that we have, the involvement, the motivation that I have in terms of driving my team to achieve what we want is high out here.
Okay.
So therefore I look at that. Thirdly, if Felix, you want to invest on a farm, if you want to invest on a land in a city, in a town, a BBMP area, your investment is going to be very high. So for a 30-40 site, you will invest on about 60 to 70 lakh. Just I'm talking about the minimum. I mean, just for the land. Then you need to start your construction, and that will take you another 60 lakhs.
Exactly.
And your returns are going to be slow, not as what you expect.
And by the time you do that, it will take you almost a year or year and a half.
Yes. But when you're investing in a farmland, one, you get away from your hustle and bustle of your time.
Yes.
You come here, relax. With family, quality time with family is very important.
Yes.
So you spend a lot of quality time with your family here. You harvest, you look at sowing flower, you have your flowers, colorful flowers around, you have your lake, I mean, you have all the other self-sustainable things available here. And your child, when she comes out of your house, she or he comes out of the house, will breathe not polluted air. It's clean air.
Pure clean air.
Clean air is what you, and health will increase. So it's all related to farmland is all related to the health aspect. So I want to step into that aspect where your child and you will become healthier, and there are returns. If you look at your returns are going to be high because I'm assuring around about 6% of returns annually on your investment, which is good. How are those returns going to come? One is going to come through your harvest. Two is going to come through your cottages. Of course, I forgot to mention we also have cottages here.
Oh, lovely!
And it's an A-frame cottage, which is European style.
Okay.
American style standard of plot size, and the European style of your designs, your farm cottages. So it's a collusion of all coming in over here. So you have the best. So you have your weekly returns on your cottages is what I look at. Apart from that, you also have your livestock. So if in case you invest in your livestock, that's going to be taken care of. And overall, it's a maintenance free that we take care of the maintenance. And all you need to do is only pick up a plot, and the rest is done by us. How the returns are going to be shared. 70-30 is the ratio that we look at. So 70% is yours of the harvest of whatever happens in that particular piece of land of yours, and 30% is ours because in terms of watering, manuring, labor, all that is taken care by us. So these are things that we look at, and therefore I would say investing on a farmland is much better compared to what you're investing in a plot or a share or a stock somewhere else. Yeah. So these are things that you can enjoy because ultimately if you go for a vacation, You want to enjoy, though you spend,
Exactly.
you want to enjoy a vacation.
Yeah.
So this is something similar to that. And this is a lifelong vacation that you have every weekend.
So
Or you choose your weekends.
yeah. So if you put all this in a nutshell, you can say that you're investing in a piece of paradise.
Well said.
Yeah, in a piece of
Well
paradise.
said.
Yeah. So Gerard, this amazing property at Sidlaghatta, just let us know how long it takes to come from MG Road till here and what is the distance that it has.
Okay. From MG Road, it's approximately 68 kilometers.
68 kilometers.
68.
Okay.
Thanks for emphasizing that.
Yeah.
It's exactly 68 kilometers.
Okay.
This is the lowest proximity that you will get of any of my other competitors. So this is lowest proximity, which means it's very close.
Exactly.
Is what we give at around about 68 kilometers where you reach our property.
Okay. And to reach this property, you have to pass through the airport.
Right.
So from the airport to this property, what's the distance?
38 kilometers.
38 kilometers.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Actually,
Yeah.
not too very long.
Yeah.
And I can see the traffic that it is so very soft. It's not as heavy as the city
Yeah,
area.
I mean, if you compare this route to your Mysore road or your Tumkur road,
Tumkur road.
property routes, this route has always been very low traffic, so people can reach from MG Road. You almost take around about 1.5 hours to reach here.
Yeah, that is superb. Yeah, yeah.